Prior to the 6th century BCE, the political landscape of India was a fractured mosaic. The subcontinent was divided into dozens of small, isolated tribal footholds, known as Janapadas, independent clans rooted in their own local territories. The shift toward larger states began with a technological catalyst, the widespread adoption of iron. These heavy iron agricultural implements were significantly more durable and effective than anything that had come before. Settlers used heavy iron axes to clear the dense, ancient forests of the Ganges plains, and iron-tipped plows to churn up the tough, fertile earth. This combination allowed for the production of a massive agricultural surplus for the first time in Indian history. This surplus changed the nature of governance. Rulers could now collect excess grain as tax, using that revenue to take men off the farms and fund the subcontinent's first permanent professional standing armies. The introduction of iron triggered a period of rapid tribal consolidation. Small, scattered clans were forcibly absorbed into large, aggressive territorial states, ending the era of isolated tribal life. By the 6th century BCE, the consolidation was complete. The board was now set with 16 competitive superpowers, known as the Mahajanpadas, stretching from the northwest frontier to the edges of the eastern jungles. These states operated under two different systems. Some were centralized monarchies, while others, known as Ganasangas, functioned as decentralized republics, where councils of clan leaders debated and voted on policy. All 16 states were heavily militarized and actively expanding their borders. With every kingdom seeking to dominate its neighbors, northern India became a theater of constant, inevitable conflict. While the competition was fierce, history recorded a single survivor. One state would eventually devour all the other 15 to become the dominant power of the age, Magadha. Magadha's rise to power was built on a precise exploitation of geography, resources, and human ambition. Magadha possessed a significant defensive advantage in its early capital, Rajgriha. As seen in this rugged terrain, the city was surrounded by 5 impassable hills, creating a natural fortress that was incredibly difficult to penetrate. When the capital later shifted to Pataliputra, the state gained a new strategic asset. Positioned at the confluence of the Ganges and Son rivers, the city became a water fort, protected by wide currents while providing direct control over the region's most important trade arteries. Magadha also controlled the most valuable resource of the era. The state sat on the edge of the Chota Nagpur Plateau, giving its rulers direct access to massive, high-grade iron ore deposits. This monopoly on iron meant Magadha could outfit its soldiers with sharper, stronger, and more abundant weaponry than any of its rivals, ensuring its infantry was better equipped for prolonged warfare. Beyond metal, they utilized the local environment to build a unique military division. By capturing and training wild elephants from the nearby forests, Magadha introduced the ancient equivalent of heavy armor to the battlefield, capable of breaking enemy formations. These converging factors, the natural fortresses, the iron monopoly, and integrated units of war elephants, gave Magadha a structural military superiority that no other Mahajanapada could match. Maintaining such a massive military and mining infrastructure required a highly efficient method of moving wealth and paying personnel. Magadha helped pioneer the use of India's first punch-marked silver coins, known as ahat. These physical stamps, representing trees, animals, or celestial bodies, confirmed the weight and value of the metal, facilitating rapid trade. Moving from barter to bullion transformed the state's economy. With physical coinage in circulation, the administration could track assets, collect taxes across vast distances, and pay a massive professional military on a fixed schedule. These resources were directed by a series of remarkably aggressive leaders, beginning with the Haryanka dynasty. King Bimbisara used strategic marriages to stabilize his borders and acquire wealthy territories. Through these unions, he secured the rich trade center of Kashi as a dowry, adding its massive revenues directly to the Magadhan treasury. The pace of expansion accelerated under his son, Ajatashatru, who seized the throne by killing his own father, and launched a series of high-intensity campaigns against neighboring states. During his 16-year war against the Vajji Republic, Ajatashatru deployed 2 new pieces of military technology: the Ratha Musala, a mace-equipped chariot, and the Mahajanpada, a massive engine designed to hurl heavy boulders over fortress walls. The fall of the Vajji Republic signaled a shift in the nature of power. The centralized command of a single king, backed by superior technology, had successfully dismantled one of India's most resilient democratic federations. By the time the Nanda dynasty took control, Magadha evolved into a fully centralized state power. The first Nanda king, Mahapadma, systematically dismantled the old warrior aristocracies, demonstrating that political authority was now tied entirely to military resources rather than noble ancestry. The scale of this power was felt far away at the borders of the known world. When Alexander the Great's army reached the Bias River, his veterans, who conquered the Persian Empire, mutinied and refused to go further. Rumors of the Nanda army had broken their resolve. They heard reports of a force waiting across the river, consisting of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and 6,000 war elephants. Magadha became so formidable, its reputation alone halted the most successful conqueror of the ancient world. The era of the 16 Mahajanapadas functioned as a high-stakes struggle that tested and refined the tools of Indian statecraft. Magadha established the methods of expansion and administration that future leaders, including Chandragupta Maurya, would eventually use to unite the entire subcontinent into its first true empire.